Humans of planet Earth! Welcome back to JRE in a nutshell. So, today we have a interview for smart people as fuck, man, as fuck. It's a physicist guy, Rizwa Virk. Not very often, no, I never seen Joe like outsmarted so much. Like he has had so many smart people on the show, and he fucking almost always like at least pretends that he knows what he's talking about. In this case, he was like, uh, um, like totally outsmarted. It's the only reason why I'm putting 1.3 is because the subject is so deep and fuck, it's so like philosophical, very philosophical, almost more philosophical than scientific. It's crazy. It's crazy. You're gonna fucking love this conversation. So, but first, don't forget to like, subscribe, press that bell, and tell your friends, man. Please share me with the people that you know that like the JRE. And yeah, let's get to it. So, do we live in a simulation? Do we live like this guy comes and fucking dude like drops the mic. It's crazy his argument, and I'm not gonna pretend that I'm gonna give my 2 cents or any kind of smart. Like I'm too dumb to even fucking try to speak about what this guy spoke about. Like it's impossible. But I am gonna say that I before this conversation, I was 100% sure that we do not live in a simulation. 100% sure. Now it's not 100%, so I am not convinced. But if you stay for the quote of the day, please do, because that's the strongest argument that that we live in a simulation that I heard in the whole 3 hours. There's other cool ones, but this one is fucking convincing. Seriously. And yeah, I think you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it. So they start right off talking about UFOs. Immediately, a lot of people, Bob Lazar, the connection with the simulation, and like the whole conversation is based on that. Do we live in a simulation? And they connected to all of these subjects. And yeah, for example, UFOs, UAPs, whatever you wanna call. Then they speak about video games and the evolution of video games from ping pong, like the very first video game, through what we have now. And actually it's a very I was always wondering, why is this technology evolving so like faster than almost anything else. It's ridiculous how quick the software tech is evolving, like crazy fast. And one of the arguments that this guy gave was about the fact that it's not that they are advancing the tech, is that they are using it more efficiently. So in the 64 bits, they are saving the information more effectively so that they have more space. It's when I say it, I sound like an idiot because I don't know what I'm talking about, but the fucking guy explains it perfectly. It's amazing. Like the explanation is like, dude, that makes fucking sense, you know. It's cool. They speak about the Mandela Effect. In case you don't know what the Mandela Effect is this thing that a common knowledge is false about something, you know. And they say a couple of like this fruit on the loop logo and other stuff, and they say a couple of examples. But I think the coolest example of the Mandela Effect is the following, and I will ask you all. So in the movie The Jungle Book, the original cartoon one from Disney, I don't know, the 50s, whatever the year, Baloo, he dresses like a Hawaiian girl and he dances with the orangutans. Is he wearing a coconut bikini? Yes or no? Of course, yes, right? Of course he's wearing a coconut bikini. He is fucking not wearing a coconut bikini. No, that's what I fucking mean, man. That's the Mandela effect. I don't know anybody, including me the first time, who has answered that question with no. His coconut was in his lips. I fucking had no. I actually can picture him wearing the coconut bikini and with the lipstick or something feminine, some makeup on his face. It's It's so fucking weird. So that's the Mandela effect. They give other examples, and he explains kind of why. And so, some time travel theory, conspiracy, I don't know, some time travel theory that they are allowed to go back, change. They can change things in time, but they cannot change your memory, and that's why the Muslims, the imams, basically the fathers or the priests of Islam, they memorize the Quran, because in case people go back to change it, you cannot change memory. So basically, this is a theory that they go back. So it actually originally had coconut bikini, but they went back, changed it, but they cannot change our memories. Something like this. Fucking crazy shit, man. Eat some mushrooms before you see this shit. And they finished talking about the metaverse, because of course that's kind of the idea of all of this simulation, like Matrix style. We're all gonna live plug online forever. And yeah, the argument is, do we actually need a physical body? Aren't we more efficient being complete consciousness, or being uploaded and just being software, being basically ChatGPT, or yeah, you know. This Ready Player One kind of shit freaks me the fuck out. But the conversation is fucking amazing, guy. And definitely, I love this part. 5 nuts for this motherfucker, man. Crazy conversation. You are fucking gonna love it. Please stay for the quote of the day, so you can, like, let me know what you think in the comments, if you think this argument convinced you, or at least put you out of the I'm 100% sure that it's not, because it took me out. This argument took me out. I was 100% sure that we are not in the Matrix, and then I heard this and I'm like, maybe not 100%. So fuck. Cool. All right, guys, so that's it for me. Thank you very much for listening. And I remind you, have nothing to do with Joe Rogan or the Joe Rogan Experience. Links, timestamps, sources, books, all that shit that they spoke about in the description, with links and all that stuff. So don't forget to stay for the quote of the day, and I will see you next time. Peace.
When you think of information and you think of the simulation idea, the core of it is that the world is not physical. Okay, this table seems pretty physical, right?
Right.
But if you go and you look inside, it's mostly empty space, right? Something like 90-some%, maybe 99%. And then you go to the atoms and you look inside those, and it's mostly empty space, right? And there's these electron clouds and stuff, but except for the nucleus, it's mostly empty space. And the problem is, like these Russian dolls, if you keep looking inside, they keep looking for this thing called physical matter. And they can't find it. Like, it's not really there. It's like you go to the very smallest of the Russian dolls, and the only thing they can find is information. Right? And so John Wheeler, who I talked about earlier, he plays an outsized role in at least my explorations of simulation theory. He came up with a phrase, and his phrase was, it from bit. So if there's something that's an it, physical object like this cup, or this table, that if you just keep looking down, you have a microscope that just keeps going down. He goes, in the end, the only thing you find are particles. But what the heck are particles? And he said, well, the only thing that particles really are is a series of answers to yes, no questions. So it's like, does the particle spin up? Does it spin down? It's got various different polarities and things. But so he said, in the end, the only thing you have are bits of information, because that's a bit, right? Every single decision is a bit, yes or no, 1 or 0. That's like the fundamental unit of computation, and that's how we, like I said, stream video, everything else. And so he said everything that's in it is actually from bits of information. And there's a whole new kind of field within physics, which is called digital physics. Right? So in the past, physics was about physical objects moving around. And so digital physics is about information, like what happens to information in the universe. Does it get destroyed in a black hole? Does it get created? So you have, instead of conservation of momentum and, conservation of energy, you have conservation of information. So it's like a different way of looking at the physical world. And you look at it as a computation rather than looking at it as physical objects moving around like in classical physics.